Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we are continuing our playthrough, our very first playthrough of the Dunwich Legacy for Arkham Horror, the card game, and today we are taking on scenario 1A, which is Extracurricular Activity. So last episode we did The House Always Wins, and the house definitely won this time. Big thanks to everyone who left a comment and just advice as well as corrections and stuff like that. Surprisingly, it didn't make us many mistakes as I thought I did, and some of them actually just made the game harder for myself, so hopefully I'll be able to rectify those in this episode. Additionally, I do thank you for everyone who just said that, you know, it was a really unlucky session and that, you know, I should be able to bounce back from that session. Looking back on it, it actually didn't go as bad as I felt in the moment, but boy, I do remember when Monterey Jack was surrounded by 4 enemies, and I definitely thought that was going to be the end of him. So just the fact that I got out with both of them alive, we didn't end up cheating, so no Cthulhu token is in the bag, which is great, and we still got a couple of experience points worth of stuff, so I'm still happy about that. So before we jump in, I will be just talking about the deck changes that I made. I am house ruling that, you know, just for after the very first session in a campaign, especially for ones that I'm playing for the very first time, I'm just going to give myself freedom to exchange cards at free will. I know that the rules do dictate that even for 0 level cards, you have to exchange 1 experience point per card, but I think that's a little bit ridiculous for someone who's completely new to a scenario, so I'm giving myself a little bit of leeway. I'm not completely changing my deck, but if there are some cards that I do want to swap, I'm going to swap them. So yeah, that's going to be it for that. So like I mentioned before, we did get 2 experience, so for Monterey Jack, what I did was I took out his Ethereal Slips, as well as 1 copy of Scout Ahead. Ethereal Slips, I did notice there were a couple of times that that probably could have been used, you know, in some interesting moments in the last session, but overall, I just need to make room for the higher experience cards, and I wanted something that was a little bit more consistent. So I went for 2 copies of Hiking Boots. Now, these are just going to naturally boost my agility, which is just going to be great. Being at 6 agility for not having to commit anything is going to help us out a lot, but the fact that we can essentially use it since he is going to be one of our main clue getters, that we can just keep moving around the board essentially. And especially since I think this just synergizes really well with his ability, if we start further than our starting location at the end of his turn, we're going to end up drawing cards and getting resources. I also, for the copy of Scout Ahead, I did decide to get a 5th 0 level Seeker card, because someone did mention that it is pretty useful just to use a character's full range of splash cards if possible, and so I decided to get a copy of Seeking Answers, which will just help us investigate a little bit more, and potentially investigate from an easier position, which is nice. Because I believe the way that it works is you can investigate something that's like level 2 Shroud, but then if a connecting location has like a level 3 or 4 Shroud, we can still discover a clue from that spot. So I think that would be pretty useful. As for Jacqueline Fine, someone did mention that Jacqueline Fine is actually a pretty good fighter. After seeing her use Shriveling in the last episode, I would agree. So I did adjust her deck a little bit more. So I did take out the Crystalline Amulet. I replaced it with Holy Rosary, essentially giving the same effect of boosting our willpower by 1. However, we get the benefit of just having a nice boost to our horror, because when it comes down to it, we're going to try to soak up as much horror as possible for Monterey Jack if we can. We do get the downside, of course, of not being able to do the guessing game of potentially drawing cards, but I figure I would want something a little bit more consistent rather than, you know, having something that I'm going to be guessing what number is going to be succeeding or failing by, and it might not even end up drawing me any cards. So I figured we'd go with that. Additionally, I did take out, what else did I take out? I can't remember what else I took out, but either way, I made room for Azure Flame, which is just the other fight spell, especially considering we do have a familiar in our inventory, or our deck. We can potentially have 2 spells out at once, so it just gives us essentially more weapons to fight things with. And speaking of, I also used my 2 experience to get 1 copy of Song of the Dead. This is another fight spell, so in total we have 5 fight spells, which I think will be very useful, because we are going to be turning her into a main fighter, I think. And this one just seems super strong, especially when we can use her ability to potentially choose to reveal a skull symbol. Then we can do an extra +2 damage, which seems super good. So I'm probably gonna get the 2nd copy of that after this scenario as well, assuming we get enough experience, of course. But that is gonna be the changes to our deck. So, as usual, deck lists will be in the description below. So if you want to have a little bit of a closer look as to what I'm using, and yeah, let's just get let's get the scenario set up and jump into extracurricular activity. All right, we are back and we got everything else set up. And I did, if you noticed the nice little upgrade, I did get some location markers from Etsy. It's just so much easier to visualize things and to see where things connect. And I do know that things can get really, really complicated later on. So I'm really, really glad I got a bunch of them. So hopefully we can use them to good use. And I'm guessing it's just much easier to see as well up on the overhead camera. All right, so let's jump into extracurricular activity. So we are coming after trying to save Dr. Francis Morgan. Unsuccessfully, Dr. Francis Morgan has been captured, plus it is a little bit later than we would like since time passed over here as well. So Dr. Armitage is worried about his colleague, Professor Warren Rice. Might be in trouble, so he has asked for your help finding his friend. He seems unreasonably nervous about his colleague's disappearance, considering Professor Rice has only been missing for a matter of hours. Unfortunately, it's a little bit longer than just that, since we took our sweet time getting here. And for the agenda, we have Quiet Halls. You have arrived at the Miskatonic University campus in search of Professor Warren Rice. Classes are over, and a mysterious silence hangs in the air over the quad. We have 7 Threshold on the Doom for our first agenda card. And for our act card, we have After Hours. Professor Rice was last seen several hours ago by one of Armitage's students in the Humanities building. And we have 3 clues per investigator, so we need 6 clues total, and then at any point during our turn, we can use it to advance, because there's no other requirement necessary there. So, also we have swapped up the lead investigators. I think I'm just going to keep doing that for each each scenario. We're going to just switch back and forth. Makes it this easiest. So we're going to then do Monterey Jack for the lead investigator. Additionally, we are doing, as usual, we're playing on standard difficulty, and here are the special symbols for this encounter. Definitely thinking that my card draw is not going to be very good here for Monterey Jack. So luckily a lot of our card draw stuff is a may, or we have to activate it, so luckily we can choose not to do it, but still it's a little bit worrisome considering his ability also lets us draw cards, but I guess if we just move one space away, we can choose to just get a resource instead. And where do we start? We start in the Miskatonic Quad. That's going to be at the top here. So, Miskatonic Quad reads 0 clues on it, 3 shroud on it. Miskatonic, we can reside from this location, saying we can't find Rice anywhere. You leave the campus hoping Armitage will forgive you. Well, considering we left behind both Dr. Francis Morgan and potentially this guy, I don't think he'll be too happy about that. So, let's put our cards there, and let's see. Let's draw our opening hand, shall we? And let's get to it. So, get 5 cards for Monterey Jack. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Also make sure to get our 5 resources on each character. And for Monterey Jack, our opening hand is Fieldwork, Sneak Attack, Narrow Escape, and Leo DeLuca, and Emergency Cash. So a pretty great opening hand. I sort of want to get some more assets I can potentially use. You tend to not really need combat too much off the start. I'm going to hope that's the case here, but maybe I at least keep one of them just in case. In which case, I think we'll keep Narrow Escape, I think. Because that can... Well, I guess Narrow Escape is only for attacks of opportunity. We'll keep Sneak Attack. So let's get rid of Narrow Escape. Let's redraw. And we redraw into Lockpicks. Perfect. Okay, that's actually pretty good. We get some really, really good clue-getting stuff. Because we need to hop right on that. Alright, let's shuffle these. And we'll draw 5 cards for Jacqueline. Jacqueline gets Familiar Spirit, Azure Flame, Rite of Seeking, Ward of Protection, and Shriveling. This is a pretty great hand. I don't think I need 2 combat things right now. But having both Rite of Seeking and Azure Flame plus the Familiar Spirit to take care of that is nice. Which would I rather have? Azure Flame or Shriveling? I think Shriveling's better, isn't it? Do they both do they do both do +1 damage. They both come with 4 charges. If you reveal a symbol, you take a horror for shriveling. If you reveal an elder sign, +1 or 0 during the attack, you take 1 damage. Let's stay with shriveling, and we'll get rid of the Azure Flame and draw a new card. We draw Emergency Cash, perfect, because that's going to help us get out all these cards, because they're a little bit on the expensive side. So pretty happy with the opening hands for these. Let's hope that we can actually make use of them, unlike in the last scenario. All right, well, it's our turn. Who do we want to go first? I think we'll maybe just chill here for a turn. I don't mind doing that and then just getting set up, because we do have a lot to get set up with. So I think we will play... We're going to play Emergency Cash. Let's go with Monterey Jack first. We'll play Emergency Cash, go up to 8 resources. We're immediately going to spend 6 of those to get Leo DeLuca into play, which essentially gives us an action. So we have 2 actions left. And I guess Fieldwork just gives +2. But it would let us at least trigger our ability once. So yeah, let's actually... spend 2 resources. We'll get Fieldwork into play, and then our last action will move... Oh my god, we can go so many places. We have the Orn Library, which connects to Humanities Building as well as a Miskatonic quad. We have the Student Union. Administration Building. So the Student Union says, even at this late hour, you can hear muffled chatter inside the Student Union. Perhaps one of the students will know where Professor Rice is. Humanities Building. Professor Rice was last seen at the Humanities Building teaching one of his Latin classes. The murky windows of the weather-worn structure emit no light, and the night is silent around you. Orrin Library. 3 floors of weathered gray granite. This library looks more like a reliquary than a place of learning. Stone gargoyles snarl down from above arched windows, and Latin script winds around the double doors at the top of a wide set of stone steps. In the Science Building dominates the eastern side of the campus. Its windows are dark, save for a lone window shining faintly in the corner of the basement. A lot of these seem really, really creepy. Maybe our best bet is just to go check with the students first. Let's go hang out with the students, see if they know anything. There are clues here. There's 2 clues. There's only 1 shroud level, which is pretty solid. So there's 2 clues on here. This shroud 1 level. Force. After Student Union is revealed, put the set-aside dormitories into play. Heal. We can spend 2 actions to heal 1 damage and 1 horror. I'm not going to have enough room on my screen for all this, am I? So this only connects to... Alright, these only connect to each other, so I'm just going to put them like that. Alright, you cannot... The door leading into the dormitories is locked. You cannot move into the dormitories. Alright, well, can't go there yet. But that's going to be our turn. End of our turn, because we were ended 1 location away. We're going to choose to gain 1 resource, because we need to get going on that again. And yeah, Fieldwork is only for this phase, so there's no point in exhausting that right now. Alright, Jacqueline's turn. So Jacqueline is also going to play Emergency Cash and go up to 8 resources. And I think... What do you want to get into play first? I can't get everything into play, huh? Not this turn. We don't have enough actions. But I can spend 1 to get Familiar Spirit into play. And I don't think we need to investigate right now. So let's spend 3. Yeah, let's spend 3 and get Shriveling into play. And that comes with 4 charges. Just in case on the Mythos phase we draw an enemy or something like that, that'll help us a little bit. And then we can get Rite of Seeking. We actually have enough to get Rite of Seeking into play next as well. Alright, it is going to be Upkeep phase, so because there's no enemies to deal with right now. We each get a resource, go up to 5 for Jacqueline. Jacqueline draws Robes of Endless Night. Nice, that'll actually help out a little bit with spells. And Monterey Jack goes up to 2 and gets Manual Dexterity. All good. Mythos phase, 1 Doom out of 7. Encounter card for Monterey Jack. Offer of Power, Peril. Alright, so Jacqueline can't help us. Not like she's in the same location anyways. You must either choose 1, draw 2 cards and place 2 Doom on the current agenda, or take 2 Horror. I mean, drawing cards is nice. I don't really like the fact it's making me do 2 Doom, though. Considering it seems like it wants me to draw cards. Ew, I do only have 3 cards. I wouldn't mind taking the extra card draw, but boy, 2 Doom, that's a lot. The fact that this can cause the agenda to advance is something I have to be really, really wary of. We're going to play it safe. I'm going to take the 2 Horror. Since we have Leo out, I'll just put 1 Horror on Leo and 1 Horror on myself. And then for Jacqueline, we draw Thrall. Look at that, an enemy. Spawn, location with the most clues. Uh-oh. Well, that's currently with Monterey Jack. He has Retaliate, so it's going to engage with him. I guess, luckily, we've got Shriveling, though, so we can go potentially deal with him. Alright, well, I guess that's going to be the game plan. It is going to pretty much take up Jacqueline's turn, unfortunately. The question is, how risky do I want to do it? Do I just want to try to punch him and not engage? Because that would at least give me another action to play something else. We'd be fighting at 5 to 2. 5 to 2, huh? It's not the worst. Yeah, Ward of Protection. A non-weakness treachery card. Yeah, it doesn't work on enemies, so that's unfortunate. Alright, yeah, we'll go with Jacqueline's turn. We're going to move into here. We'll engage the Thrall, I think. Yeah, I think we'll engage the Thrall. Just to better be safe than sorry. I don't want to end up doing 2 damage to him. We're going to use a charge on Shriveling. We're going to fight 5 to 2. And deal +1 damage. Do I want to use my ability? I don't think so. Maybe we'll save the ability for Monterey Jack's Investigate. Hey, it's a +1, so that is going to be a success. So that is going to do 2 damage, +1 damage because of Shriveling, so that's going to kill the Thrall, and that is going to be her turn. Not a bad turn. Did what we needed to do. Alright, you got 4 actions with Monterey. So, let's see. We don't have a way to get +1 clues, unfortunately. Let's, I mean, we can just investigate 4 to 2, or actually 4 to 1. That's actually fine. I don't think we need to get lockpicks into play right now. So yeah, we'll just investigate 4 to 1. So -1, that's a success. We get 1 clue. Do it again. Same thing. Ooh, -4. That's going to be a fail. We'll do it again, though. Skull. -1 if you fail, discard the top 3 cards of your deck. That is not a fail, and we do get the other clue. So we're up to 2 clues. We still have 1 more action left thanks to Leo, so I think we'll move back into Miskatonic Quad. And end of our turn, we can then gain a resource because of that, and go up to 3. Nice. Alright, we need, oh boy, we need 4 more clues. Ay, ay, ay. We need the key for the dormitory, so we can't do anything there. Alright, end of the round. There's no enemies, so upkeep phase. Jacqueline gets a resource, and we draw our Song of the Dead. Nice. Maybe we'll just have both Shriveling and Song of the Dead get into play, and then just go full fight. And then Monterey Jack goes up to 4 resources and draws Lucky Cigarette Case, which, I mean, now that we know that it really wants us to actually draw cards, I don't know if that's the best card, but we can use it on a guts test if we need to, I guess. Alright, let's flip these over. Mythos Phase, we're going to get another Doom, 2 out of 7. Card for Monterey. We get a Thrall. There's actually Spawn with the most clues. Since there's no clues, I'm guessing we get to choose. Or because Monterey drew it, he has to take it. We'll play it like that. I don't know if that's how it goes, but that's the way that makes the most sense. If there's no clues, the next available requirement is whoever drew it, I guess, so it'll engage with him. And then for Jacqueline, we get Eager for Death. Oh, it's a willpower test. Test Willpower 2. Increase the skill test's difficulty by 1 for each damage on you. If you fail, take 2 horror. Alright, well, it's just a 5 to 2 test, so I think that's just fine. I don't think we even need to commit anything to that. 5 to 2, that's a -1, and we did not fail. Easy peasy success. All right. Well, Jacqueline needs to come back and do the exact same thing as before. But I think we will use 2. Actually, we don't need Song of the Dead in play at the moment. I think I'd rather buff up my health right now. Let's spend 3 resources. We're going to play Robes of Endless Night, because that'll help us just make things cheaper in the future anyways. We're going to move as our second action, and then we're just going to hit. We are just going to hit. We're going to use a charge off Shriveling. And we're going to hit for 5 to 2. Oh, that's an auto fail. I'm so sorry, Monterey Jack. He takes 2. We'll give 1 damage to Leo. And 1 damage to Monterey Jack. Uh-oh. Should have used my ability. Sad face. Alright. Well, it is what it is. Guess we can potentially kill this thing. Alright, we'll just try and evade the Thrall. We'll just evade at a 5 to 2. It's a -3. That's going to be success. So we evade, and then I'm just going to kill him with sneak attack. So deal 2 damage to an exhausted enemy for 2 resources, just to make sure we can not have to worry about him. We got 2 actions left. Let's go. Yeah, let's go with Orn Library. Actually, let's go to Humanities Building. Professor Rice was last seen there. So we're going to go into here for a third action. There's 4 clues on it. Healthy amount of clues. Forced. At the end of your turn, if you are in the Humanities Building, discard the top X cards of your deck, where X is the amount of horror on you. Ooh. Oh, that's bad. That's really bad. Man, I really want to get one of those clues, but I don't want to have to discard anything. So maybe we're better off moving to Orn Library instead. And then come here when we can just have a full turn of just investigating a bunch. Because I could use Fieldwork right now and then investigate at a 6 to 3. And potentially get 1 clue off of that, but then I discard 1 card. Which I guess isn't the worst thing. The problem is if I end up getting some more horror on me. Should have healed at the Student Union. Actually, I probably should do that soon. Because I could actually spend 2 actions and heal myself fully. Maybe go heal first before I end up trying to look for stuff. So yeah, let's maybe go back and let's just explore some more, because that can potentially help out Jacqueline with some more information. So let's go to the Orn Library. There's 2 clues on there. It's 3 Shroud. You must spend 1 additional action to investigate the Orn Library. Alright, that's not the worst thing. Alright, end of his turn, since he was 1 space away from starting location. Let us get a resource. Go up to 4. I think we're at 3, right? Yeah. And then no enemies to deal with. Upkeep phase. Let's flip these back over. Go up to 5 resources for Monterey Jack. We got our trusty bullwhip. Perfect. Now we can actually deal with enemies ourselves. And now that I know that we can actually use it, even if it's exhausted, that's a huge, huge buff. And then for Jacqueline, go up to 4 resources. Oh, we draw our weakness. Dark Future, which, in all honesty, isn't the worst thing. Just can't ignore symbols. So, honestly, yeah, that is like one of the softer ones, in my opinion. Alright, Mythos Phase, 3 out of 7 Doom. For Monterey Jack, we get Beyond the Veil, Surge. So we have to take the next card. Put it into play in your threat area if there is no copy in the threat area. If your deck has no cards in it, take 10 damage? So we're on a huge time limit, huh? Alright. So we don't have any way to get rid of that, I don't think. Jacqueline gets pushed into the Beyond. Choose and shuffle a non-story asset you control into your deck and discard the top 3 cards of your deck. If a copy of that asset is discarded, take 2 horror. Well, I sort of want all of these. That's unfortunate. I guess we'll just get rid of the Robes of Endless Night. I mean, Familiar Spirit is not being used right now, but I do want to get Rite of Seeking into play at some point. So yeah, I guess we'll shuffle Robes of Endless Night into our deck, discard the top 3 cards, and take 2 horror. Geez, some of these are brutal. Alright. We discard Order Protection, that sucks. Familiar Spirit, and Perception. Alright. Well, we don't take 2 horror, at least. Oof, that's a rough Mythos phase. Oh, wait. Actually, sorry. Beyond the Veil had Surge, so this would have gone to Monterey Jack, which is even worse. Uh-oh. I shouldn't have done that. My bad. Let's see what the next card is anyways. Locked Door. Attached to the location with the most clues and without a locked door attached. Cannot be investigated. You need Might 4 or Agility 4 to break the locks. If you succeed, discard it. Alright. Let's see. Should I redo? Yeah, we'll redo. I don't know, obviously know the... I obviously don't know what the order was on everything, but we'll just reshuffle. I think that's the fair way to do things. Alright, so that means we would have to discard something from Monterey Jack, which I guess we'll get rid of Fieldwork because I really want to keep Leo around. So we'll shuffle those and then discard the top 3. It's even worse with Beyond the Veil because we're essentially getting rid of 3 rounds that could put us into safety. We discard Sneak Attack, Scout Ahead, and Overzealous. Oh, we discard our weakness. Nice. That's pretty sweet. Alright, well that actually worked out in our favor because Overzealous is awful. Alright, well it is our turn. How do we want to do this? Well, we do need to break down that locked door, but I think since we're here, we might as well just get these clues off of Oran Library. I think now's the time to get lockpicks into play, so let's use Monterey Jack. Let's go down to 2 resources, get lockpicks into play. We need to spend an additional action, so it'll be 2 actions to use lockpicks, which we will do. So we're investigating at a 9 to 3. It's a +1, so that's going to be an uber success. So we get 1 clue off of there, go up to 3 clues. And then now we only have 1 action left and we can't investigate here. Whoa, so I think I might actually just move back to Miskatonic Quad and work my way maybe to go to heal at Student Union before I try to break into Humanities. Actually, no, let's actually spend our last 2 resources and get our trusty bullwhip into play. Yeah, that's probably better, just in case, again, we get caught out with an enemy. Alright, that's going to be Monterey Jack's turn. He did not move, so that's going to be it for him. No extra resources. Jacqueline, do we split up? I mean, we're already split up. Could get Rite of Seeking into play and go potentially look for some other stuff, which I guess might as well. Let us exhaust our Robes of Night to reduce the cost by 1, so it will just cost 3 resources to get Rite of Seeking into play, and that comes in with 3 charges. It's 1 action. Use our second action. Let's move into Science Building. Put the set-aside Alchemy Labs into play. Okay, this place is going to be huge. And we need a key for that. When you fail a willpower test in this Science Building, take 1 damage, and there's 2 clues on there. Alright, well, we'll use our last action to investigate with the Rite of Seeking, because we can actually get 2 clues if we get that. And we might as well... Yeah, we're investigating at a 5 to 2. We might as well use our ability here. Hey, nice. Well, actually, that not nice, because that causes us to draw a card. But I guess we do need cards. There's a 0, and a -2. Alright, well, we have our choice. I do only have 2 cards, and... Oh, we actually can't ignore because of our weakness. Shoot, we can't actually ignore that. I mean, so it doesn't really matter. We'll ignore the other 2 and then just get a +1 and succeed. So that'll be 2 clues because Rite of Seeking lets us get 1 additional clue. So we're at 5 clues. We need 1 more before we can advance. We're actually doing fairly well, I think. That's going to be our turn. End of turn. We have to do our weakness treachery card. We're going to reveal 5 tokens. If we reveal the Elder Sign, we get to discard it. There's a 0, -1, +1. Come on. -2, 1 more. And a skull. Alright, it stays with us for now. Alright, no enemies to deal with. Upkeep phase, we'll unexhaust all of our stuff. We get a resource for Monterey Jack, draw a card. We get Hyper Awareness. Don't really have the resources to use that very well right now, but that's okay. We go up to 4 resources for Jacqueline. And we draw our other weakness, Internal Injury. Not the worst one, it's just more of an annoying one because we have to spend 2 actions to get rid of it, but at the end of our turn we'll take 1 damage. Alrighty, it's going to be the Mythos phase. So we get a Doom, so we're 4 out of 7 on the Doom tracker. Monterey Jack gets Arcane Barrier, uh-oh. Attached to your location. As an additional action to move into or out of the attached location, test Willpower 4. If successful, discard it. Otherwise, you must either cancel the effects of the move or discard up to the top 5 cards of your deck. Well, that's like one of the worst things that he could have drawn, because I only have 1 willpower, and I don't think I'm going to ever get rid of that. I guess we're going to be discarding 5 cards. That's unfortunate. Oh, wait. So this attaches to the location. As an okay, we can actually have Jacqueline come in there then. So I guess that's not the worst thing. It's still pretty annoying because it causes her to backtrack, but luckily she already got the clues off of this. We can't move into Alchemy Labs anyways. Alright, and then for Jacqueline we get Thrall. Shoot. Actually, it spawns into here because it's whoever has the most clues. And we're not planning on going there anytime soon, so that's alright. Alright, well, it's not the worst thing. I guess we'll have Jacqueline go first. Yeah, because we can't really move with him. So we'll go 1, and then to move into here, we have to test willpower. We'll test it at 4. Ooh, I don't really have anything I can commit, or I want to commit. Well, I guess we're just going to test 5 to 4. Uh-oh. Oh, it's a -1. -3 if there are 10 or more cards in your discard pile. There are not, so that's actually a success. We equal up to 4 to 4. Whew! Alright, we gotta discard that. Wow, that was lucky. And we still have 1 more action left. As an additional cost to move into or out of. Okay, so that was us moving into there. For our second action. Third action, I guess we'll just draw a card. Oh, shoot, I forgot about Internal Injury. That's okay. I think we're fine taking 1 damage. I guess... I don't really want to investigate. I could, just to get that clue off and that frees up Monterey. But it's sort of wasting the Rite of Seeking. I mean, we could just test at a 3 to 3. And have... Yeah, we have nothing else to commit there. We can just test at a 3 to 3 and hope for the best. That's not the worst idea, but we are pretty low on cards, so I think I might just draw a card for my last one, which I know is not the greatest, but we still need cards to do stuff. Hypnotic Gaze. Okay, that's good. Just helps us get a little bit more defense. Alright, end of her turn. She's going to take 1 damage because of Internal Injury. We'll just place that onto our Robe of Endless Night. And we have to test for our other weakness. Well, not test, but reveal 5 tokens. It's a +1. 0. -1. Come on. Give me that Elder Sign. That's a skull. And -2. Alright. It's still... Was that almost like the exact same thing that we did earlier? Jeez. Alright. Well, we don't get rid of that. Alright, Monterey Jack's turn. So I guess first things first, we'll just spend an additional action to investigate here. We'll use our lockpicks. So it'll be 1 action from lockpicks and another action to investigate. 9 to 3. We got a +1. Wow, we've been really drawing a lot of +1s. So we get to 4 resources, or 4 clues on Monterey Jack. So we have a total of 6. We have enough to advance now, which I think we'll just do because it doesn't cost any action, and we can see sort of what pops up. So let's spend our clues and advance. You were unable to find Professor Rice, but one of the students you spoke with mentioned a strange man entering Rice's office. Unfortunately, the door leading to the faculty offices is closed at this late hour. The student says that the head janitor, Jazz, might be able to let you in, if you can find him. Shuffle the encounter discard pile and the set-aside Jazz Mulligan into the encounter deck. Great, we gotta find him through the encounter deck. Okay. And then we have Rice's whereabouts. Concerned for Professor Rice's safety, you seek out the head janitor who can let you into the locked sections of the campus. So as an action, we can spend 1 clue to discard the top 5 cards of the encounter deck, search top 10 if there's only 1 player in the game. If you discard Jazz for any reason, resolve his revelation effect, and when you take control of Jazz, advance. Oh boy. Alright, well, Jazz Mulligan is going to be ally asset. His revelation, so if we discard him through that method, we put him into play at your location, and while he's not controlled by an investigator, he gains parlay test intellect 3, and if you're successful, take control of Jazz, and while you control him, you can ignore the text on each unrevealed Miskatonic location. So pretty much just letting us bypass the locked doors in the areas. Alright, so I'm going to put this in a sleeve, we're going to shuffle it into the encounter deck, and continue on our way. Alrighty, so it is still Monterey's turn. Unfortunately, the only place we can get clues is in here, and we have that stupid thrall to deal with. I guess maybe I'll just spend, because we can't investigate it anyways because of this locked door. Maybe I'll just move in there, and I'll just take the horror. Or no, I'll take the 1 discard at the end of our turn. Which is a little bit scary, but I think we're, like, there's no other clues in play, so we're sort of at a race against time here. Oh, I guess we can we can head towards the administration building. Because Jacqueline doesn't have any horror on her. The only problem is we need agility or might to break this down, break the locked door down, and that's really only Monterey Jax's ability. Yeah, I guess maybe we'll still just have, yeah, maybe we'll still have him just go. Because we can just go 1, 2, maybe we'll just explore the administration building. There still might be like another good clue thing for us there. So yeah, we'll use 2 actions. Go 1, 2 to the administration building. 2 clues. Put the set-aside faculty offices into play, and we're using the special version, because there's 2 versions, depending on if this was the first scenario you did in the campaign or the second one, and the hour is late rather than the night is early. So that's probably going to be going against us there. At the end of your turn, if you are in the administration building, discard the top card of your deck. All right, well that sucks. So that's essentially, and it's a pretty hard investigation thing. There's only 2 clues here too. Ugh. All right, well, at the end of our turn, we don't have to use our ability. Yeah, because if we use our reaction, I'm going to end up drawing a card and taking a resource. But I really don't want to draw through my deck, especially considering we have Beyond the Veil. So I'm not going to use my reaction at the end of my turn. But at the end of our turn, we do have to discard top. We discard Lone Wolf. That would have been nice, actually. All right, enemy phase. This guy's just going to chill here. Upkeep phase. Check. Oops. Leo just had 1 and 1. We get resource, go up to 2, draw a card for Monterey. We draw, oh, that's not my deck. We draw Fieldwork. All right, well, welcome back, Fieldwork. Jacqueline Fine goes up to 5. We draw Blinding Light. All right, we got a lot of stuff to deal with combat. And let us flip over these. And Mythos phase, we are now at 5 out of 7. Running out of time here on the first card. And we got Visions of Futures Past for Monterey Jack. Oh boy. Alright. Test Willpower 5. He has 1. For each point you fail by, discard the top card of your deck. Well, it looks like we're discarding a 5. I am not liking investigators with 1 in a certain stat. You know what? I'm not going to be using Lucky Cigarette Case. I don't want to draw that many cards, so we're just going to commit lucky cigarette case, so we can at least hopefully reduce that by 1. Because we have water protection, but that's only that only works for Jacqueline. Oh boy. Alrighty, let's test. 2 to 5. -2. Alright, we're discarding 5 cards off the top. 2, 3, 4, 5. Hopefully we can at least get rid of our weakness, maybe. Hey, we got rid of our weakness. So I guess also one bright side. Alright. Well, we're already almost halfway through our deck, so Monterey just might die because of the Beyond the Veil. Alright, and Jacqueline gets Locked Door. Can you have 2 locked doors on... Oh, wait, no, with a... Oh, shoot, without a locked door attached? Great. Well, that goes here, then. This is not looking good. Alrighty, well, it is our turn. I guess we'll just have Jacqueline go deal with the Thrall right now. Yeah, maybe we'll have Jacqueline come deal with this one instead. Ugh, wait, no, the stupid... There's locked doors on both of them. Alright, well... I guess we'll use Monterey Jack first. We'll test 5 to 4 on agility to try and get this locked door off. It's a 4 test, 4 agility test. I think we're gonna commit. Let's commit manual dexterity for +2. I know that draws us a card, but I really want to get this off. So it's a 7 to 4. 0. All right. Well, we didn't even need to do that, but that's okay. Gets rid of the locked door, draws us a card, and we get Lone Wolf. Alright, well, that's alright. That's a good one. At least I don't have to worry about my weaknesses anymore. We have 3 actions left. Let us use our lock picks to investigate. We're investigating at a 9 to 4. That counts as a -1. So that's going to be a success. We get 1 clue. So we have 2 actions left. I actually wouldn't mind heading towards the Student Union. Let's spend our 2nd action or 3rd action to move back to Miskatonic Quad, and our 4th action to use up our clue and discard. We'll use the act action. So we get to discard the top 5 cards of the encounter deck. Boom. Come on. Wow. Oh my god. Thank goodness we discarded this. This was the next encounter card. It's a Yithian Observer. When Yithian Observer attacks you, discard 1 card at random from your hand. If you cannot, deals +1 damage and +1 horror for the attack. Yikes. I guess Jacqueline could come kill that. And I guess it has a pretty low agility, but still. 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright, well, at least it got rid of some really annoying cards, especially Arcane Barriers. A lot of willpower stuff, too. Alright, and because we ended 1 square away from our original location, let's gain a resource, go up to 3 with Monterey Jack's ability. Alright. Ooh. I do want to get rid of this internal injury, though. So maybe we'll just hold off for a turn. Yeah, let's spend 2 actions. We're just going to get rid of our internal injury weakness for Jacqueline. We got 1 action left. Let us, I guess, just get a resource, huh? Again, I don't really want to draw cards. Although, Jacqueline hasn't really done much, so I guess I don't mind drawing a card. We don't have to worry about any of our weaknesses anymore. Yeah, let's draw a card. Just be more prepared. Arbiter of Fates. Nice. Alright. That's going to be our turn. End of our turn, let's do the Dark Future weakness. So reveal 5 tokens, hoping for an Elder Sign. So -1. -1. -4. Hey, there's the Elder Sign. So that's going to be a success. So we get a discard Dark Future. Sweet. Get rid of both of our weaknesses. Nice. Alright, upkeep phase, since there's no enemies to deal with. Monterey Jack goes up to 4 resources, draws a card. It's already down half his deck, gets Narrow Escape. That'll help, potentially, probably just end up using that to commit for stuff, that's okay. Jacqueline gets up to 6 resources and draws another familiar spirit. So at least we have a backup if we need to get rid of our current one. Alright, let's flip these over. We got the Mythos phase, so we're 6 out of 7 Doom. Come on, Jazz. Offer of Power, that's for Monterey Jack. You must either choose one. Draw 2 cards and place 2 Doom. This effect can cause the current agenda to advance, or take 2 Horror. Well, no matter what, it is already advancing, but this will speed it up and make it happen right now. Man, taking 2 Horror also really sucks. Do I care about the agenda advancing? It would actually at least make an excess Doom go to waste, because it would just push it up to 8 on the Doom threshold and then just advance and gets rid of all the Doom. But the problem is drawing 2 cards when he's already almost halfway through his deck is not great. But I also don't even think I can really afford to take 2 Horror. You know what? We're going to draw 2 cards and advance the Doom track and see what happens. So we'll draw 2 cards. We get Seeking Answers and Pickpocketing. Not very useful. The Doom is going to advance. The university is dead silent. The shadows coil around about your feet as you walk, and you swear there is something following you with each step you take. Is it just your imagination, or is there really someone or something stalking you? Each investigator with 5 or more cards in his discard pile takes 1 Horror. Each investigator with 10 or more cards takes 2 Horror instead. Well, it looks like I was going to take 2 Horror anyways, because we definitely have 10 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Jacqueline does not. Jacqueline doesn't even have 5 cards in her discard, so that's good at least. So we take 2 Horror. We're going to go up to 3 Horror out of 6 for Monterey Jack. That is bad. But I guess it is good I didn't take the 2 Horror from the other one anyways, because if this was going to advance, I would take another 2 Horror, and that would almost kill me. So I guess that's perfectly fine. If the players have completed the House Always Wins, advance directly to Agenda 2B. Uh-oh. Alright, well, looks like we're not getting the extra time. I sort of knew that was going to happen, but still, it's unfortunate. A cry of fear echoes through the campus, and several students flee from the eastern side of the university where the science building can be found. Could this commotion be linked to Professor Rice's disappearance? If the dormitory's location is not in play, put it into play. We do have the dormitories. If the experiment is in play, move it 1 location toward the dormitories. If the experiment is not in play, spawn it in the science building. Uh-oh, that doesn't sound good. Oh, something went terribly wrong. Ooh, 472. It's massive, so it's engaged with everyone at the location. Gets +3 health per investigator, so it's 13 health. When the enemy phase begins, ready the experiment. Oh, boy. Oh my god, so you can't even evade it. You can't even evade it. Because if we evade it on our turn, it just readies at the start of the enemy phase anyways. Oh, there goes my plan. And when it's defeated, advance to Act 3B. Oh. So I guess it's an alternate win condition, maybe? Ay, ay, ay. Well, that's not good. I don't think we're on the Jazz plan. Is it possible for me to kill that thing? Assuming I hit with every single attack, the most damage I can do with all of our turns. It doesn't have retaliate, so that's good, but it does have 4 combat, which is really strong. And like, what would the point of evading it be? I guess because it's engaged with everyone, if you miss it, you end up hitting the other person. Is that how that works? Because he's considered to be engaged with all investigators at the location. So I guess you would have to evade him first and then pump all your attacks into him. So assuming we have to do that, we have 3 actions left on him, assuming we all start there, which is not likely. We can do 2 damage for Trusty Bullwhip, 2 more damage for just regular attacks, and assuming Jacqueline hits all of her stuff, I mean, she can do 4 damage with Shriveling. We need to get our Song of the Dead into play. I might just give up on Rite of Seeking at this point. And we just have all of our fight spells. Alright, well, I mean, that wasn't even That was just the Mythos phase for Monterey Jack. So we have Jacqueline's card as well. Also, we have the Beast Unleashed. Some kind of wild creature is on the loose. Whatever it is, it appears to be headed toward the university dormitories. When this agenda would advance by reaching its doom threshold, instead remove all doom in play and move the experiment one location toward the dormitories. If the experiment enters the dormitories, advance. Wow. You really don't get a lot of time on this one. Alright. I don't think we're gonna find Warren Rice here. I don't know how the hell you're supposed to get to all these different locations. I guess you just have to get really lucky and have Jazz be early in the encounter deck. How do you want to do this? Now, he only moves when the Doom advances, but we do know there are cards that can potentially force that anyways. So, what is our plan? I guess you would have to move in, attack, and then move out, and then just hope it doesn't hit you. Like, do we have any other setup we really need to do? Not really. Oh, actually, we can do Seeking Answers right now. That seems worth it. Yeah, because we can actually bypass... We can bypass the locked door with Seeking Answers, I'm guessing, right? Yeah, the attached location cannot be investigated, but Seeking Answers just discovers a clue at a connecting location. I'm guessing that gets around that. And this has the lower shroud level, so I think we will, rather than trying to go for this one. Yeah, we'll use our lockpicks to investigate. Oh wait, I guess we're investigating using this shroud level anyway. So yeah, shroud level 3. So I guess we can take this one, and we might as well. And then we're gonna spend 1. Oh wait, we can't. Oh, we can't use our lockpicks with Seeking Answers though. Oh, that's awkward. That really sucks, actually. I guess the only way we can really do it easier is to use Hyper Awareness. We would get +1, so we can test at a 5 to 3. Ew. I guess we might as well just move into here and then investigate from here. Oh wait, we have to spend additional action to investigate there. Oh, this is awful. This is awful. Lockpicks doesn't work with Seeking Answers. For some reason I thought it was like a skill or something, but that sucks. Yeah, I guess we just have to try. It's either that or move into here and try and get clues, but if only this location connected to like here or something like that, then I could do all the stuff. I could also just prepare to fight. Oh, this is tough. I think these are some very important decisions I need to make right away. I mean, we can't really even go in here with Monterey because he's going to discard 3 cards at the end of his turn if he's stuck in there. So I think we're just going to have to ignore that area for now. I guess maybe we'll just jump back in administration and get that last clue and spend it and hopefully get Jazz. I guess might as well get Lone Wolf into play, but we'll see. Alright, let's move into here. We're going to use lockpicks to investigate. So we're investigating at a... What is this one? No, I don't know. Oops, I think I left that from earlier. Alright, testing 9 to 3? 9 to 4. It's a -1. Alright, so it's going to be a success. We get a clue. We have 2 actions left. Let's spend an action to use our clue and discard the top 5 cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And no Jazz. Boy, we are not getting lucky with that. We have 1 more action left. I really don't want to be discarding cards off the top of my deck, so I guess we'll... Oof. But I also don't want to move here, potentially, if the experiment moves into there. You know what? I'm fine taking 1 card off the top. Yeah, we'll discard 1 card off the top. Because I'll spend 1 resource instead to get Lone Wolf into play. And then we also get another resource at the end of our turn because we ended 1 location away from our original. Now, what do we do with Jacqueline? think first things first. I need to save all my fight charges, so I don't want to deal with this thrall. I guess we just get ready to fight? Just set up with her? Ooh, Hypnotic Gaze could be really, really useful. That actually could end up doing 2 damage, potentially, do the experiment. Alright, yeah, let's start heading back. We do want to be somewhat close together, so we'll use 1 action to do that. Let's exhaust Robes of Endless Night to reduce our next spell cost, and we'll play Song of the Dead for 1, go down to 5. We're going to get rid of our Rite of Seeking, because I don't think we're going to bother investigating anymore with her. We definitely need her to just be all ready to fight things. So that's going to come in with 5 charges. Oh, damn, that comes with 5 charges? Jesus. Okay, well, that's pretty good. So move, play. We have 1 more action left. We just need to make sure we have resources to do everything. So I think we're just going to gain a resource with our last action and hang out there. Okie dokie. Upkeep phase. Get a resource for Monterey Jack. Draw a card. We get Unexpected Courage. Alright, that'll be useful. And then unexhaust that. Get another resource for Jacqueline. We go up to 7. Draw a card. We get Rite of Seeking. Alright, well. Can commit that if we need to. Yeah, experiment only moves when... Yeah, for the Doom thing. Alright, Mythos phase. Get a Doom on the thing. Draw for Monterey Jack. We get... Uh-oh. What is this? Whippoorwill. 2/1/4. Aloof, and it's Hunter. Each investigator at Whippoorwill's location gets -1 to all stats. Ooh. Okay, well. At least our fight is still 4-2. So I guess it's not the... it does willpower damage, though. Gross. Alright. Interesting. Ooh, it's awkward, though, because you have to engage aloof creatures to actually attack them, huh? That's annoying. Alright, and for Jacqueline... Oh, God. Jacqueline gets Wizard of Yog Sothoth. Humanoid Sorcerer, 4/3/3. Prays least cards in hand. I think they're even. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, even. Alright. Hunter, when the engaged investigator draws a Hex or Pact card, it attacks that investigator. Well, that's a pretty gross enemy. Well, there's no spawn point, so it engages with us. I guess if it's to engage with anyone, it's better to engage with Jacqueline. Alright. Because we need to reveal a skull symbol to get +2 damage. That's a little... Oh, wait, so you don't get +1 damage naturally either. Oh, that's unfortunate. I thought it still had, like, Shriveling, for example, +1 damage. Yeah, we'll use a charge off Song of the Dead. We're going to use our ability, so we get to reveal 2 additional tokens, looking for a skull. And we're fighting at 5/4. Ooh, wait, his fight is actually pretty good. I wish I had a way to buff that. I could get rid of my Familiar Spirit. Yeah, let's commit our Familiar Spirit. So we're fighting at 7/4 or 6/4. Oh wait, no, you get +1 from this. So yeah, 7/4. Yeah, we'll do that. So -1. Come on, skull. Oh, it's an auto fail, so that's not going to work. And a cultist. Uh-oh. It's a -1, -3 if there are 10 or more cards in your discard pile. There is not. But we have to discard the auto fail, so that counts for -2 total. Luckily, that still succeeds, but we only do 1 damage. That's unfortunate. So 1 out of 3. So we'll use our Shriveling as our next attack, because that can do +1 damage. Oh, but that we don't get any plus with that, though, so we're fighting 5/4. I think we might just commit Arbiter of Fates. Yeah, let's just commit Arbiter of Fates and go 7/4 again. Because we don't get our ability, so... Oh, -1. All right, well, looks like we didn't need to do that anyways, but that does 2 damage because of shriveling. So it does kill the Yoggoth, and that's actually a victory. Nice, that's an experience point for us. And we still have 1 action left because we fought twice. Let us... Do I draw cards? I really need to look for better things. I need to look for my necklace that gives me +1 willpower. Yeah, so let's draw a card with our last action. We get Guts. Alright, that's still a useful card for our fight. Alright, Whippoorwill. Let's engage Whippoorwill with... at the start of our turn, we get a resource for Lone Wolf. Let's engage the Whippoorwill with our second action. Let's fight with our trusty Bullwhip. So we're fighting at 5-2 as our third action. Or second action. Engage. Yeah, second action. Engage, fight, 5-2. That's the auto fail. Of course it is. Alright, we'll do it again. Third action. -3. Oh, that still succeeds, barely. It equals. Oh wait, no, we have -1 though because of the Whippoorwill. So that fails. Wow, that's actually really annoying. Alright, I guess we'll use our last action to fight the Whippoorwill again. -2. Okay, that succeeds because we make it even, fighting at 4-2. And we'll just kill the Whippoorwill. Alright, well that was a waste of a whole turn. Alright. Oh, this is bad. Now the experiment's gonna move into Jacqueline. I guess we do get a turn. Yeah, because he moves during the Doom phase, not the actual enemy phase, so he won't actually attack, which is nice. So we can actually potentially get him down very, very high, I guess. Man, he's got 13 health. That's insane. Excuse me. Alright, upkeep phase. Get a resource. Go up to 8 for Jacqueline. Draw a card. We get emergency cash. Don't really need that. That's okay. Go up to 6 for Monterey Jack. We get pickpocketing. Pretty useless, but that's okay. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. At least we got a lot of stuff to commit to just like evasion. Plus we can just commit cards to our fight for a trusty Bullwhip, so that's okay. Alright, Doom Mythos phase. This is going to progress, so it's just going to get rid of the Doom, and he's going to move 1 towards the dormitories. So now engaged with Jacqueline, because he's massive. Alright, encounter card for Monterey Jack. We get a Thrall. Spawns location with the most clues. Okay, that's good, so you can just ignore that. Jacqueline gets another Thrall. Okay, there's a lot of Thralls in the Humanities building. At least it's okay, the door is locked. The door is locked, so we locked them into the Humanities building. Alright, well, it's our turn. I guess we're just going to try to take this experiment down. What's the best way to do this, though? I really wish we were able to heal before we got in there. I mean, Jacqueline doesn't need the healing, but boy, oh boy, we're not looking so hot with Monterey Jack. So, let's see. If we use Monterey Jack, again, we want to... Let me just double-check massive. Okay. That's I'm glad I checked that, because if you do attack a massive enemy and you fail, you do not hit the other engaged investigators. That was what I was worried about. And attacks of opportunity only happen against the targeted, or the one who targeted. What is the best way to do this? So if I move in there, the problem is, yeah, we pretty much have to kill him. Well, I guess we have 2 turns, because I guess these aren't one location. It'll move to the student union, and then move to the dormitories. So we have 2 rounds to kill this thing. I guess we just go to town. The question is, do I want to stay in there? I guess we'll see how the first attacks go. I guess we can leave... Yeah, we can leave Jacqueline in here, because she does have Hypnotic Gaze, and that could actually end up doing 2 damage to itself. So we sort of want her to stay in there. We just want her to just attack, attack, attack. Alright, well, her turn's fairly straightforward, I guess. So we're going to attack with our Song of the Dead. I really need to find my other Shriveling, though, because we're on our last charge of that. Which is a little bit unfortunate. but what are you going to do? All right, let's use Song of the Dead. We're going to use our ability. So we look at we get a fight at a 6-4. And we're going to draw 3 tokens, and hopefully get a skull. Oh, there's a skull. Okay. -1, that's good. -2. Okay, perfect. So we can negate the -1, -2. So that leaves the skull, which counts as a -1, which still makes us succeed because we're at 5-4 now. And because we got a skull, we do +2 damage, so we get 3 damage on it. Okay, well that was the kind of start we needed. Only 10 more to go. Only 10 more to go. Well, we got 2 actions left. How do I want to do this is the question. Oh man, not having a backup shriveling is really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. We can do potentially 1 damage with Blinding Light, but we'll use that in our last dying scenario. All right, let's fight with Shriveling. We'll use up our last charge on Shriveling, and we'll commit a Guts to it. So we're fighting at 7-4. Oh, -3. That's a success. I'm really glad I committed that. And it deals +1 damage, so we're at 5 damage. And we get a draw card for Guts. We draw another emergency cache, so that's pretty useless. Oof. I guess we'll just fight with Song of the Dead again. I mean, maybe we'll get lucky and we only reveal 1 token this time, but maybe we'll reveal the skull, I guess. We just need to get damage. We need to get damage going. Yeah, let's go down to 2 charges on that. Let's go for it. Now, we are fighting at 5-4. If we reveal the skull, we still will win, so we don't really have to commit anything. And I do want to keep this Ward of Protection just in case. And I do want to keep the Blinding Light if we need to evade. Plus, it can potentially be an extra damage. So yeah, we don't really have anything else we can commit, unfortunately, so we're just going to be fighting 5-4. Come on, skull. Ah, -3. That's a fail. All right. No retaliate, though, so we don't get hit. I mean, all right, that's going to be her turn. All right, 5 damage. You know, that's nothing to scoff at. Here's where I really wish we had our sneak attacks, because I haven't drawn... I think we discarded them. Yeah, I guess we'll move and just attack. We can potentially do 3 damage. The problem is I can't cancel an attack of opportunity with... Oh, actually, we can cancel an attack of opportunity with Narrow Escape. We can't negate a regular attack. So what is the best way to do this, then? If you evade an enemy, exhaust pickpocketing. Like, we have 2 pickpocketing, so we can commit 1 agility. We'll end up fighting at 5. That'll be 6-4. I might just get rid of both pickpocketing, so 7-4. 7-4 seems alright. I don't think I'm going to need my field work anymore. Oh, I guess if we want to move out of that location, we do have to use our Narrow Escape. Because I definitely want to make sure Monterey's not in there when he attacks, because he just can't afford to take a hit from that. He'll go up to... I mean, we could put a damage on Leo and lose Leo, but we'll still be at 4 out of 6 horror. Alright. Well, let's move in for 1 action. Let us use our trusty Bullwhip. We're fighting at a 5-4. I'm going to commit field work and seeking and... Actually, no. Yeah, field work and both copies of pickpocketing. So we are fighting at 8-4, just in case we hit that -4. Of course, we hit the -4, so I'm really glad I committed all that stuff. And we are going to exhaust Bullwhip to deal +1 damage, so he goes up to 7. 7 out of 13, 6 more damage. So we moved, fought. We can... Yeah, I guess I guess if anything, we want to move into Student Union. But problem is I can't move into there and heal. I can heal next turn, I guess, but then I'm down 2 actions for a round. The alternative is just to try and hit 2 more times, because we can still use the trusty bullwhip, as I've learned, and fight using our agility, but we're still fighting at 5 to 4. I have a committed unexpected courage. So I could fight at 7 to 4. Get 1 more damage on there. That would be up to 8. And then if we get really... Oh, Jacqueline's down to only 2 more charges on her fight spells, though. Yeah, we really need to find Shriveling. We need to find Shriveling bad. Hyper-awareness could be pretty useful, too, in fighting with the bullwhip. Because we are getting a little bit higher on resources now. Well, I actually should have got a resource as well, I think, from Lone Wolf, right? I don't think I triggered that. Maybe we'll get hyper-awareness into play and just prep for next turn. So we're going to take a move action. It's going to cause an attack of opportunity, but I'm going to use Narrow Escape to cancel that. And we get +2 skill value for the next skill test this turn, which is a little bit of a waste, but makes us so we don't just outright die. We'll spend 2 resources going down to 5. And get our, if I can find the 5, get our hyper-awareness into play. And that will be it for him. And because we started 2 locations away, we have to get a resource and draw a card, but that's okay. We need to look for, all right, emergency cash. That just lets us pump more things into hyper-awareness. That's not the worst thing. Enemy phase, it's going to attack Jacqueline. We're going to spend 3 resources going down to 5. And we are going to play our Hypnotic Gaze. Oh, it's only once per round we can reveal our ability. Question is, do I save it? Or do I just risk it? Oh, if only I had my Arbiter. Maybe it was a mistake committing that. Because, I mean, we can take 1 hit from this thing. It's not the end of the world. Yeah, I think I'd rather keep Hypnotic Gaze. Oh, that's really tough, because we sort of need our ability for Song of the Dead, because it's really, really difficult to hit with Song of the Dead if we don't use our ability. So yeah, I think we'll just cancel the attack. We'll reveal around token, because at least Hypnotic Gaze triggers off any of the symbols, and maybe we'll get lucky. Come on! Oh, it's a -1. Dang, man, that would have been huge, getting 2 damage off that. Alright, Mythos phase for Monterey Jack. Choose and shuffle a non-story asset into your deck and discard the top 3. If a copy of that asset is discarded, take 2 horror. Well, we'll just get rid of lockpicks, I guess. Not really using that. Problem is, we're really low on cards, so this is bad. We discard Leo, Backstab, that would have been useful, and Lucky Cigarette. At least we don't take 2 horror. Really wanted that Backstab, though. And then Jacqueline gets Eager for Death. Increase this skill test difficulty by 1 for each damage on you, which is 0. If you fail, take 2 horror. We won't use Water Protection on that. We'll just test 5 to 2. That's no, there's the skull, -1. So that's a success. You should have flipped over. Alright. Okay. Do I bother healing with Monterey Jack? Is the question. So let's see. If I move in there with Monterey Jack, I hit him with the bullwhip. That's 2 damage. That is, yeah, 2 damage. So he'll be up to 9. Then we need to do 4 more. Which, if we hit with Song of the Dead, that'll be 3 more. And then a regular hit would kill him. And then we have some backup attacks from Trusty, from Monterey Jack. I think we have to just go for it. I think we'll use 1 action to get emergency cash, though, because we're going to need to pump some resources in hyper awareness. We have 3 actions left. Let us move in we're going to use our third action to attack with Trusty Bullwhip. I'm going to pump in 2. Yeah, I don't think I'm going to be using Seeking Answers here. So yeah, let's pump in 2, go down to 7 resources, and commit Seeking Awareness, or Seeking Answers. So it's +3 total. So we'll be fighting at 8 to 4. Because again, we drew that -4 last time. Oh, we also would have got a resource from Lone Wolf, so be at 8 total. Oh, we drew the -4 again. That is a success, though. Barely. It's a good thing that enemies don't win ties, huh? So let's exhaust Trusty Bullwhip. We'll do 2 more damage. Go up to 9. We have 1 more action left. Do I stay and hit? And try and hit to bring him up to 10 damage? Or do I... Well, I have to stay. I just realized. Because if I wanted to move away, I would have to evade him and then move out. But I guess we'll just go for it. We can afford to take 1 hit. We'll even if we don't get rid of Leo, we can take 1 hit regardless. As long as we don't get any horror from a bad card, though, which is a little bit unfortunate. Alright, well, let us just pump in some resources then. And I'll save my Unexpected Courage for Jacqueline. So we're at 5. Let's attack with our Bullwhip. Let's commit 3 and go up to 8 again. Again, 8 seems like a good threshold. So we're going down to 5 resources. Commit 3 resources for that. Oh, if only Jacqueline drew that. That's a -1, so it's still a hit. So 4 damage, or goes up to 4 on this dice. So 10 damage total. And that's going to be it for Monterey Jack's turn. He gets a resource. Might as well draw a card, huh? I mean, we're pretty close to getting to the end of our deck anyways, and we might draw something that we can commit or something that might be useful. Right? How many cards do we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. We do know those cards that can discard 3. So I'd be at 5, go down to... Yeah, I think it's fine drawing a card here. Because we know we got rid of all of our... We got rid of both of our weaknesses, right? Yeah, there's Buried Secrets and there's Overzealous. So let's draw a card. We got Lockpicks. Well, that's useless. Alrighty. End of our turn. Since we moved 1 location away, we'll get a resource, go up to 6. Alright, Jacqueline, your time to shine. Alright, we're going to use a charge off Song of the Dead. We are going to use our ability to reveal 2 extra tokens. I don't really have much I can commit, so I'm going to use... I'm going to get Monterey to commit his Unexpected Courage. So we get +1 from Song of the Dead, +2 from Unexpected Courage, so we're at 8. The sweet spot. Come on, Skull. Oh, shoot, it's an auto-fail, meaning that even if we draw a Skull... Actually, no, that's actually might be fine. Because we can negate the auto-fail. That's a minus... Oh, that's a -3 if there are 10 or more cards. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, that's just a -1 then. Come on, Skull. Come on, Skull. Oh, it's a 0. Alright, well, we'll get rid of the auto-fail. We'll ignore that, and we'll just take the -1. So it's just 1 damage. Goes up to 11. We're going to have just like 1 more chance at this. I really hope the Mythos phase doesn't throw anything bad at us. Otherwise, we might just die from that. Alright, well, let's use a second charge. Our last charge off Song of the Dead. Oh, do I commit the Ward of Protection? That seems really risky. I have Blinding Light, but I almost want to use that to evade, because that can actually potentially deal a damage. Yeah, I don't know what else is in that deck, so I think we'll just play it safe. Or safer, I guess. Alright, we're just fighting 5 to... Yeah, because we can't commit this. We're just doing 5 to 4. If I get a Skull here, that's going to be insane. Oh, it's a +1, so it actually succeeds. So up to 12 damage. We need 1 more damage. With my very last action, I am going to use Blinding Light to evade. For 2, go down to 3. It uses willpower instead of agility, so we are evading at a 5 to 2. Oh, do I commit the Ward of Protection? Because if we draw the -4, I lose. Or I don't get it. Because that's the only other agility card I can do. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna commit Ward of Protection. So we can go 6 to 2. Just in case we hit the -4. And the 0, but that is going to be a success. That is going to do 1 damage to the enemy evaded, and that's 13 damage. And that is going to kill the experiment. Unless I'm doing my math incorrectly. 7 plus 3 health per investigator. 2 investigators. 6 health. 13. That is going to be a dead, and that goes to Victory 2, and we advance directly to Act 3B. Okay, I hope that's the end, because I'm still not in the greatest of state, especially Monterey, but that is going to be that. So we're going to advance directly to 3B. The monstrous creature lets out a terrible shriek as it succumbs to its wounds and collapses onto the ground. A foul odor emanates from the corpse as its flesh begins to bubble and froth. Your relief turns to disgust as the body begins to shrink and disintegrate. Minutes later, the body is almost certainly evaporated into a sticky mass, and the awful odor has vanished. Inside the remnants of the creature's body, all you can find is a set of bones, the skeletal structure of a canine. Resolution 3. Oh my god, we did it. We actually did it. I did not expect that to go so smoothly. Man, changing her into more of a fighter was a super, super good choice. I mean, granted, we didn't get our Azure Flame, which is the extra cards I added in, and we got our Shriveling. But Song of the Dead, the fact that we got at least 1 hit off of that made the whole difference. The fact that we got that +2 damage for 1 turn, and the fact that we killed him with Blinding Light, evading for 1 damage. Oof. That was intense. That was intense. All right, Resolution 3. After defeating the strange and terrifying creature from the Department of Alchemy, you rush to the faculty offices to find Professor Rice. By the time you get to his office, there is no sign of him anywhere. In your campaign log, record that Professor Warren Rice was kidnapped. Also, record that the experiment was defeated. Each investigator earns experience equal to the victory X value of each card in the victory display. We did actually get rid of all the clues off here, and that's Victory 1. So we got 1 point from there. We get 2 points for killing the experiment, and another point for killing this Wizard of Yoga Sothoth. So we got 4 experience for that. That's really solid. And if this is the first scenario, okay, otherwise, so if this was the first scenario, we would go back to the house that always wins. But since we did that, we proceed to Interlude 1, Armitage's Fate. Now, is that a... Okay, so that is just a story thing. Cool. So we'll just read that. Armitage's Fate. Check the campaign log. If the investigators were unconscious for several hours, read Armitage's Fate. I don't believe we were, because the only things that happened from before, from the House Always Wins, we had O'Banion Gang has a bone to pick with us, and Dr. Francis Morgan was kidnapped. And that was the only things we tracked. So we weren't unconscious for several hours, so we skipped Armitage's Fate number 2. When you arrive at Dr. Armitage's home in Southside, you'll find him sitting at his desk, pale-faced and sweating with worry. He is grateful for you searching for his colleagues, but he doesn't look relieved. For a long pause, he straightens his glasses and explains. I'm afraid I must apologize. There's something I didn't mention to you earlier. Dr. Armitage then spins a tale that you would scarcely believe had it not been for your harrowing experiences earlier that night. In your campaign log, record that the investigators rescued Dr. Henry Armitage. Any one investigator may choose to add Dr. Henry Armitage to his or her deck. This card does not count toward that investigator's deck size and can be found with the Armitage's encounter set. I guess that was this one over here. Oh no, I'm gonna have to pull that out. Let me look for it. All right, I found Henry Armitage. I guess because we weren't unconscious for several hours, we actually got there in time. Yeah, because it looks like he would have been kidnapped if we... I don't know what would have made us go unconscious, but luckily we didn't. So we got ally assets. We can choose... Yeah, so it's not lead investigator. We can choose to add it to someone's deck, and it doesn't count toward the deck size. So we can commit for any 2 symbols. He's got 2/2 health. After you draw a non-weakness card, discard that card and exhaust Henry Armitage to gain 3 resources. Holy crap! That's insanely good. Wow. I think we're gonna have to use maybe use some experience to get charisma, so we can have 2 allies in play. After you draw a non-weakness card, discard that card and exhaust Henry Armitage. Gain 3 resources. Oh, Jesus. I can see why some people do side quests to get allies and stuff, huh? Well, I guess that's definitely going into Monterey Jax's deck, because he's a lot worse against the encounter deck, and that will let him negate some of the really, really bad ones. Boy, we almost got killed by Beyond the Veil, though. That would have done 10 damage to us, because we only had 5 more cards left in our deck. Oh boy. Of course, both of our copies of Hiking Boots are near the bottom. And where was Jazz? Because we got through like over half the deck, and we did not see Jazz. If he is the next card, I swear. All right, Light of... Oh, we didn't even get this one. Light of a Forgamon. You must attach Light of a Forgamon to either current agenda or the current act. Treat all damage as direct damage and all horror as direct horror. Ooh. Ancient Evils. Okay, is he on the bottom? Oh my god, I think he's on the bottom. He was 3rd from the bottom. Damn it, Jazz! What were you off doing? We're trying to save your ass. Ugh. What would have that even helped with, though, I guess, is the question, because looking at this... So, looking at the... Where'd that Act card go? So, Act 2A... So once we would have taken control of Jazz, we would have gone to Act 3, which would have just said, you have only moments to react. You could warn the students in the dormitories and escort them to safety, or continue your task of searching the faculty offices for Professor Rice, or perhaps you best try to slay the beast that threatens the campus. Find and complete an objective on another encounter card. Interesting. So there were, 3 different outcomes? We could warn the students. Warn the students, slay the beast, or find Professor Rice. I guess those were the 3 different ways we could end the encounter. I think we did the best one, though. I think killing this thing is the best, because it effectively saves the students. We didn't really save Professor Rice, but he at least was kidnapped, so we know he's alive. Or we assume he's alive. Let's make sure I didn't do this incorrectly. Yeah, if the experiment was defeated, advance directly to Act 3B. Yeah. Damn, alright. Well, that was it. We have saved the kids. We unfortunately let Professor Warren get kidnapped, but that's okay. I think I still am happier with this outcome, to be honest. Let's see. Yeah, so Professor Warren Rice was kidnapped. Yeah, experiment was defeated. I'm guessing the experiment being defeated is also going to help us in the future. I'm guessing that we won't have to encounter that thing down the road. I think we got the best, I guess maybe one of the best outcomes. All right, well, that was it. We got 4 experience that we get to use. That's a lot of experience, I feel like, for one thing. Obviously, I'm guessing if we were able to clear some of these other places, they would have given us more experience. Oh, maybe not. Dormitories had 1 experience, and yeah, so we could have potentially just had 1 more experience to do that. And that's going to be it for this second episode of the Dunwich Legacy. This is a total opposite outcome to what the previous one was, so big thank you to everyone who is letting me know that it is possible to bounce back from that harrowing scenario 1. Our decks definitely performed a lot better than in the previous scenario, because this was a lot more typical. Super happy with the direction that we're going with Jacqueline Fine, turning her into a fighter. I think we definitely need a little bit of fine-tuning with Monterey Jack. There are some cards that I'm not really huge on, but at the same time, I think if we had drawn like our backstabs and things like that, being able to potentially deal with the experiment who only has 2 agility would have been a lot easier. Or if we had sneak attack, for example, that also would have made it a lot easier to do damage to him. But you know what? Monterey Jack got most of the clues. I think Jacqueline just got the 2 clues that she needed. Thankfully, we did get an early investigation ability for her too. And we had smooth goings. And we were really, really lucky with all these thralls just ending up in the humanities building. Because boy, oh boy, that would have been unfortunate if they moved towards us. And luckily, we were able to get enough clues without going to the humanities building. But yeah, that was a really, really intense session. I'm super, super happy with that outcome, though. Thank you so much for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed it. Of course, we're going to be continuing this campaign, so make sure to subscribe for more. I do have more games and stuff on the way as well in between, so I'm not going to be doing a full campaign, and I'll still be intermingling other games, and I really, really do appreciate it if you do check out the other videos, because it does help out the channel a lot. I will be, of course, doing deck upgrades before the next video, so stay tuned for that as well. But thank you so much. Of course, as usual, let me know in the comments below if I did make any other major mistakes. But I think overall, I think I got mostly everything correctly. But let me know if I missed anything. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.